Remember to subscribe to our YouTube channel at NDN TV Nigeria. Click on the subscribe button and be the first to get notifications.
Very unfortunate developments, very unfortunate, because I have been involved in the politics of Rivers State for quite some time. Even though I'm not an active politician, have not contested for any political office. Indeed, I can claim that I played a significant role in the emergence of Governor Sim Fubara. And if you look at your reports and listen to speeches made by the governor himself, he in fact categorized three of us as the three wise men who helped to support Governor Wike at that time to bring him forward as the candidates of the People's Democratic Party. The other two were Chief Ferdinand Alabraba, who is the chairman of our Rivers Elders Forum, and OHA, His Majesty OHA, Sergeant Awuse, popular politician in the past. They used to call him the bulldozer of Rivers politics, who became the chairman of the Rivers State Traditional Rulers Council. And at the time when we took that position to encourage the governor to support him, he was holding that position as Rivers State Traditional Rulers Council chairman. Now, I want to take my bearing from there. Following that selection, it went down well with everybody in Rivers State, because we did not act just on sentiment. We acted on principle. The first principle being that the Rivers, I think Southeast is what they call that section, that comprises the Opobo people, the Andone people, the Ogoni people, had been clamoring that they had not produced a governor in Rivers State. My own Rivers East had produced a governor, in fact 2 or 3. Well, there's still the question about Sir Celestine Omehia. But we produced Rotimi Amechi as governor. We produced Nyesom Wike as governor. The other section of Rivers State had produced Dr. Peter Odili. There was a time when we had this thing about riverine and upland politics in Rivers State. That went down well because, as I said, the principle behind it was, one, somebody from that area, that senatorial area of Rivers State, and two, the man Sim Fubara, Siminalaye Fubara, is an Ijo man. So it helped to douse that tension. Upland people have held it. Ikwere people have held it. Ndone people had held it. You follow? And there was a time when we had a governor, Chief Rufus Adajudge, is now quite a very, very distinguished senior citizen of Rivers State, advanced in age. He was a governor. And this happened after thereafter some part of Rivers State was excised to create Bayelsa State. So we took that principled decision based on those two factors. One, that senatorial area had not produced a governor. Two, the man who was now to be elected was an Ijo man, Opobo. So we thought we had done well. And we worked well, won the election overwhelmingly for the PDP, of which Siminalaye Fubara was the governor. Shortly thereafter, we now started to see small cleavages between Nyesom Wike, who was then our governor or was then our former governor, and the present governor. And we of that Elders Council were also moving between them to say, what's going on? Is there any problem? Can we intervene? Can we make peace? That continued, that back and forth, and things didn't seem to be flowing well. Until in 2023, November or December, President Ahmed Bola Tinubu, President, Commander-in-Chief of the Federal Armed Forces of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, convened what he thought and what we all understood to be a summit of the warring factions. Former governor, who was now Minister of the FCT, was there, Nyesom Wike. Governor of Rivers State, Sir Sim Fubara, was there. The Speaker of the House of Assembly, Martin Amehule, was there. And so were many other, eminent citizens of Rivers State, including former Governor Dr. Peter Odili, including most of the members of the House of Assembly, including the Amanovo Popopo, where Sim Fubara came, including Sergeant Awuse. You follow? We all attended that meeting. I was also present at that meeting. And at the meeting, the president produced what he saw was a resolution for peace in Rivers State, which everybody signed. The Speaker and many of the members of the House of Assembly who were there. The National Security Advisor, Malam Nuhu Ribadu, also signed. And that was what we came out with from that meeting. There was an 8-point agenda on that of things to be done by all, including withdrawal of cases, withdrawal of impeachment proceedings by the House, and so on and so forth. And we thought we had solved the problem. But then all hell broke loose. We came back, and suddenly some people said, the president had no authority. Those ones even took the matter to court. In the meantime, the House of Assembly had withdrawn the impeachment proceedings. The governor himself had withdrawn 1 or 2 cases that were filed in his name. Everybody appeared to be acting in good faith in accordance with that 8-point resolution agenda. Then suddenly again, people who said, they went to court. In the meantime, more cases were now being filed, including the one about whether or not the governor should present a budget to the assembly led by Martin Amehule. And that one went all the way to the Supreme Court and was resolved just within the last 2 months. And from each stage, High Court, I think it was Justice Omotoso in the High Court who delivered the judgment at the Court of First Instance, the Federal High Court. The Court of Appeal upheld his decision, and the Supreme Court also upheld his decision. That would appear funny. In fact, one of the judgments said it's a joke taken too far, that 3 or 4 persons can be said to constitute a House of Assembly of a state which has a membership of 32 in its House of Assembly. And we came back. The next thing was, of course, the governor, in keeping with the rule of law, said, in a broadcast that all of us heard, even though I don't agree with the judgments, but I will implement it, because that is the final court of the land, which is how it should be. Still, implementation was not seen forthcoming. Budget was never presented. I read and heard on the news waves that, on a certain day, the governor arrived at the House of Assembly, the place was locked. People now escalated it, that they locked the governor out. I heard and read that the governor now wrote a letter, which the House said that was not the proper channel. The governor should have signed the letter, not the secretary to the state government. But still, no budget was presented. And then the next thing we heard, PANDEV, Pan Niger Delta Development Forum, headed by the former governor of Akwa Ibom State, Obong Victor Atta. They went to the president. In fact, I received what seemed to be an invitation to that meeting, because Before then, some constituted members of PANDEV under the chairmanship of Obong Victor Atta had come to meet with our leader. You heard me mention the name Chief Ferdinand Alabraba before. He was chairman and is still the chairman of our Elders Forum in Rivers State. Came to meet specifically with him and I. And we met and we suggested ways and means of bringing the governor currently and the former governor, now the minister of the Federal Capital Territory, together. So that as Oga and his man, or father and son, they could resolve the differences. We met in Federal Alabraba's house, and Obong Atta and his delegation left, assuring us that they were going to carry the message to the governor. It was later again we now saw that PANDEV held another meeting with the president. This was after the judgment. And what did the president say, which was very remarkable? That they should go back and convince the governor to implement the judgment of the Supreme Court. There can be no two ways about it. So that is where, if you look at all the scenarios that had come up, the matter stood until suddenly we heard that there was the declaration of a state of emergency. I don't think it's even up to a week. I think it was last Tuesday or so. So that's about a week today, which is very unfortunate for us because we feel that in a democratic setting, declaration of a state of emergency is a bit extreme. But the Constitution provides for it, Section 305, as you rightly quoted. And I had to dig up my Constitution and look at Section 305. I just kept it here. And it has stated the conditions under which a state of emergency can be declared. And this is in Section 305 of the Constitution. Section 305 3C says there is actual breakdown of public order and public safety in the Federation or any part thereof, to such extent as to require extraordinary measures to restore peace and security. 305 3D says there is a clear and present danger of an actual breakdown of public order and public safety in the Federation or any part thereof, requiring extraordinary measures to avert such danger. And 305 3E says there is an occurrence of imminent danger or occurrence of any disaster or natural calamity affecting the community or a section of the community in the Federation. And F, there is any other public danger which clearly constitutes a threat to the existence of the Federation. So the conditions are there in the Constitution as amended, Section 305. All that is required is after the President has issued such proclamation, it will be published in a public gazette of the government of the Federal Republic of Nigeria and transmitted to the National Assembly, where both houses will, by resolution, 2/3 majority resolution, approve. And I understand, as we read and heard, that both the House of Representatives and the Senate had again last week, I think it was on Wednesday or Thursday, given the approval which the President sought by transmitting the resolution to the House. So the President, as far as I'm concerned, has acted in accordance with the provisions of the 1999 Constitution. And there is nothing abnormal in what he has done. You mentioned something about, he suspended the governor, the deputy governor, and the House of Assembly and referenced state of emergency declared in Borno, Adamawa, and the other states. Was it Yobe?
Maybe Borno, Adamawa. I think it should be Yobe.
Yes, when President Goodluck Jonathan was commander-in-chief, that he did also declare a state of emergency. So this is not new. If we look back to the First Republic, in 1963, 64, 62, 63, 64, a state of emergency was also declared in the western region of Nigeria. At that time, there were 3 regions in Nigeria. Midwest region was created much later. But there was western region, there was eastern region, and there was northern region. And state of emergency was declared. Western region. And they tried to deal with the situation at that time. So the president has acted in accordance with the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. And we just have to hope and pray that all concerned will now see reason to calm down. The popular saying is calm down, calm down. That little boy on one of those social media posts was telling his mother, who was scolding him, "Mommy, calm down, mommy, calm down." So this is what I'm saying. All concerned should now calm down, and let us hope that under our administrator, the Vice Admiral Ibas, we will have some peace, some security, and law and order. And hope that at the end of it, we will return to proper civilian administration.
Inside the Niger Delta,